Hi, this comes from Military Podcast. You know why most people don't prepare until it's too late. Let me say something that, people are probably going to get mad at. They're probably going to get pissed off at me, but I'm going to say it anyway. Teaching situational awareness and self-defense and security in Maine is very difficult. It's very hard. Not because people are stupid, and not because they're bad people. It's because most people don't believe anything bad's going to happen to them here in Maine. They say things like, well, what are the chances? We don't have much crime here. I'll just take my chance. And I saw something like that on YouTube, because a lot of people use YouTube. And that mindset is exactly why preparation fails. Here's the truth. Bad things don't announce themselves. They don't care where you live. They don't care how quiet your town is. And they don't care how confident you feel that day. Most people train for, they don't train for reality. They train for comfort. And they want short classes, and they want the cheapest option, and they want the quickest certificate so they can tell people they took the class. I see it all the time. But awareness doesn't work like that. Self-defense don't work like that. Security doesn't work like that either. You do, a lot of people use YouTube. It doesn't correct you when you miss something. A short class doesn't change how you move through this world, that's for sure. The cheap training doesn't, it doesn't prepare you for real consequences. Experience matters, not because it's impressive, but because it's paid for with time, responsibility, and seeing what actually happens when things go wrong. Most people won't prepare. They'll rely on luck, they'll rely on hope, and they'll rely on nothing's ever happened here before. And something, sometimes they're right, and other times they're not right, and that's the problem. I don't teach everyone. I teach small number of classes. I teach small percentage of classes that understand this concept. You don't train because you expect trouble. You train because trouble comes and it doesn't ask permission. It just shows up. I know it sounds kind of harsh with some people, but that's the reality of it. This is not about fear. It's about respect for your life, your family, your friends, your responsibility to notice when others ignore the things that are around them. If you're looking for shortcuts, then you don't want me teaching you. If you're willing to think, slow down, prepare honestly, about consequences, you might want to show up in my class. I've been teaching most of my life, practically all my life, and I've seen a lot of things that happen like that, and people don't realize that. I was in Bath one day, putting fuel in my Jeep, and I saw these couple come out of the Big Apple. This isn't broad daylight now. And they were coming out arm in arm, and I was watching them because my head's always on a swivel anyway. And I don't know why I was watching them. It's, I guess, because of the way that they were acting. They were just two people in love and walking, out of the store. Like I said, this is broad daylight, and this car came in, screaming in the parking lot. A big guy jumped out and started beating on this man. And I don't even think he even knew the guy, for Pete's sakes. And I'm watching this and stuff, and the guy ran around my Jeep, and the guy chasing him dropped the knife. Okay, this guy was going to kill this guy, and so I pulled my firearm. He brought the guy over, he dragged him over in the middle of Big Apple, right in front of Big Apple. There's kids there was cars all over it, there was people, and I said, there's not going to be a death today, not today. And so I went over to the guy, and he came up with his right arm. He had him down on his butt backwards, and he came down and he sliced his face. And and I pulled the weapon on him. I told him, you need to stand down, give me the knife. You need to give me the knife. And nobody's going to die here today. You need to give me the knife. And he knew I meant it. And the guy gave him the knife, and then another guy pulled the knife. There was 4 guys there that day. It was just total chaos. I got the knife from that guy. And then the person in the car came at me with the car. Okay, just like you probably saw on TV. Came just as fast as he could, came out, and I was going to shoot through the windshield, and I decided not to because, for number one, I didn't know if there was kids in that car. I don't know who was in that car, but I know that they wanted to hit me. And I took my chances, and I moved out of the way, and the guy that was there, the big guy, grabbed the hole of the bumper and dragged him through the parking lot. So this just happened in broad daylight, with me just trying to pump gas. So anyway, you never know what's going to happen. Prepare yourself. Take care.